But I just want to say again, you know, how evil it is of people that are greedy to get ahead in the world, you know. I know the wolves barking at the door. That's why real Christians have to suffer so much in this world. You know, because there's a great cabal they got going. And if you don't go along with it, you don't get anything in the world. You have nothing. They don't want you to have nothing. And it's just amazing how people can hate their own flesh, you know. Gee, the Jews aren't that stupid, you know. They love each other, you know. Well, not all of them, but you know, they stick to their own. They stick to their own people, you know. But what kind of criminal people like would hate their own family, you know, their own flesh? You know, that's all inspired by this dangling of money before their eyes, you know, and things of this world. You know, that's what it all stems from. Yeah. Like it says, they shall not fill their bowels, for that is the stumbling block of their iniquities. Greed. That's their stumbling block. Stupidity. No wonder God cut off the 10 tribes of Israel, you know. They say some people are saying a lot of the people that are from Europe and things, the tribe of Dan, actually the name Denmark is Danmark in the Swedish language or the Danish language, you know. So a lot of people think the 12 tribes were scattered from Israel, and a lot of people in Britain and everything actually descend from the 12 tribes. Ireland especially. They have the stone of scones, which the king of England would sit on. It's supposed to be the Jacob's pillow stone. A lot of different interesting things, you know. But the 10 tribes were definitely probably more wicked, you know. That's why Judah was, God kept the covenant with Judah, you know. But the 10 tribes, they were dispersed and, you know, never came back together again for the most part. Although there probably were some that came back when the Jews and the Benjamites and some of the Levites came back from Babylon. Because I think Cyrus told all the Jews everywhere that they could go back there, you know. So there is a mention of the 12 tribes, what they call Jews today. But there are a lot of them that never came back, never went back, you know, were scattered. Some of them lost their heritage completely. They had no idea. But they say like the Saxons, that came from Isaac, became Saxon people, Isaac's people, you know. They're pretty interesting. But so, you know, it's really, if that's true, then it really is the Masonics and the Jews are really almost like one people, you know, hereditary wise. But the Jews have dominion over them because those stupid 10 tribes that were stupid enough to forsake their God, you know, and Rehoboam and all that, they went and served idols, you know. How wicked they are, you know. They're really wicked people. I have no sympathy for them at all because they continue in their wickedness till this very day. And they will continue in it, you know. That's what really irks me, is about my own race, my own people, you know. How wicked they could be to turn on their own family. It is sickening and it is disgusting. And God will call them to full account. And they will be punished. Yeah, so there's a lot of interesting things. You see, the Balfour Declaration is something that when the British ruled over Palestine area and they won it from the Turks, they promised a homeland for the Jews, you know. And up till the time when the Jews became a state, the land, they had to pay for it, you know. So a lot of Jews that went in there and bought land, but they were like, there was maybe like 400,000 in the 19-something, early 1900s, and there was like over 1.3 million Arabs there, Muslims, you know. So they were a minority, but they didn't want Arabs ruling over them because that was their homeland. And the Arabs didn't want the Jews ruling over them for sure because they were the majority. So, as I said, they just came and illegally started settlements and stuff. They were none of that land. They had a strip along the Sea of, not the Sea of Galilee, but the Mediterranean there, the Salt Sea, I guess it is. I don't know, but where Israel is between the Sea of the River Jordan, which is then there's the Sea of Galilee, and then I guess it's the Mediterranean Sea. I guess it is, but yeah, they had a strip of land real close to the Mediterranean, and it went up a little. But there was all that land where Israel has now. They took it in the 1967 7-day war, but it was they didn't hold it. The United Nations and everything got involved, so they had to return that. So they just went in and started settling in there anyway, and nobody really kicked them out at all. Then they had the army and everything to protect them. So that happened like that. And yeah, they're waiting for the Messiah. So these things are not. It's not just something in the past. They truly believe that they're going to rule the world from Jerusalem, just like it says in the Old Testament, that all the promises they believe still belong to them, not knowing that God has rejected them because they killed his son. But they said his blood be upon us and our children, and so it has been, but God's blessing them over there, and they can be blessed, That's why God doesn't allow anybody to get them off their land until the right time. God is backing that, and he's backing all of that progress of them taking the land there. And that's why no nation that forms anything against you will succeed. That's how it is with Israel too. That though all nations of the earth trouble themselves against her, she will become a burdensome stone, and all that trouble themselves with her will be cut to pieces. They don't succeed. So that's what we see happening. And just like God used Babylon to subdue all the nations of the earth, He's used Israel to do the same thing, to rule over all the nations of the earth and to test people out, to see how Christian people were, how Christian they really were. These Christian nations like the United States, turned out not many really were they? But in the 50s, everybody went to church and believed in God. If you said you didn't believe in God then, you were a weirdo, man, because everyone believed in God and they had morals. You see, that's the thing. The man was the head of the house, and the kids disobeyed, he'd get the belt and give them a little bit of punishment, and they obeyed their parents, because that's part of Christianity. Christianity isn't all frill smiling. How are you? Hello, everybody. That's what the Antichrist will try to make you think it is. You bend over and let them walk over you. No, Christians were strong. And they had, there was crusades and there was Christian wars and everything. And, of course, that's not part of Christianity, because Paul says our weapons of our warfare are not carnal, not fleshly, but strong by God for overturning every reasoning and bringing it into captivity into the knowledge of Christ. And that's the kind of Christian I am. I don't believe in that warfare in this world. When the kingdom of God comes, then people are going to be punished for their crimes. But this hasn't happened yet. So as Jesus in this world, we are hated. Jesus says, you will be hated by all men for my name's sake. Well, I know it says in the newer translation, by all nations, ethnos, like ethnic peoples. Nations are basically families, ethnicities, But Jesus said, you'll be hated by all men. In the King James Version, and the more reliable scriptures that don't contradict themselves and don't make a mess out of it, they're called the majority text. The minority text is said to be a little bit newer, but it actually has so many obvious errors and things in it that it really can't be trusted. So yeah, you're hated by all men. That's how I am. Hated by all men. See how many views I get on the YouTube? About nothing, you know. But I gotta preach anyway, because that's my business, you know. You can't help it to try to help people, because that's love. God is love. And you don't want them to be deceived, you know. So you try. I don't know what else to do, even though I have so few people. And I see other YouTube channels that's a bunch of retarded stuff, and they might have a lot of views, you know. But anyway, hopefully it's not deleted, and then people in the future, when things start happening more, they can see, oh, he said it back then, yeah. So that's about it, you know. That's all I got to say, I guess, right now.